Hello and welcome to Coup d'Etat's one-on-one series. Today we've got a very special guest all the way from the UK, Sir Norman J. Welcome.
Welcome.
Now, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Have you got time for us? Of course you have. Now, how do you manage to mix so many different styles and tempos so seamlessly?
I guess years of practice makes perfect. I never really was, a one genre DJ. Whenever I did play a single genre in clubs, because that's what the club required, and I could do that. But when I'm given my own musical head, good times is about simply good times, an eclectic mix of all the styles that I feel passionate about.
That's great. Now, you've seen so many trends come and go. Is there anything new that's exciting you right now?
Nothing is new, really, is it? I guess. But there are sort of interesting musical combinations going on, particularly in the UK at the moment. I mean, the grime scene is growing at a pace. It's difficult to describe, but there are elements of that which are making my ears prick up. The dubstep thing is going on pretty big as well in the UK. Not necessarily my bag, but there's always one or two examples which turn my ear. Yeah.
Now, we have to ask you, what was it like meeting the Queen?
Well, it was brief, and in all honesty, I can't really remember. But it was videoed, or it was taped or recorded, and I guess one day I'll get around to putting that up on YouTube or something, so then you can see exactly what went down.
Now, how did you get so deeply involved in the Notting Hill Carnival?
Well, I'm a native of the area. It's where I was born, and I was taken to it as a child, and never really sort of took to it until I was in my sort of early teens, and then had sort of latent aspirations to bring my sound system and play there. That was a really sort of powerful, attraction and motivation for me. So when I eventually did, out of that came a pretty successful DJing and broadcasting career. Yeah.
Now, how much production work do you do, and do you have any new releases?
No, I don't do the production thing at all. Partly because I don't have the desire to, or the inclination to, and the other thing is time. Simply don't have the time. I still do compilations. I was in Australia earlier this year, January, February time, and I've released an album there called Good Times in Australia, which has done very, very well. So much so, in fact, that now the UK record companies are chasing me now to do a compilation for the UK in time for the Notting Hill Carnival, our 30th anniversary at the end of August.
Now, I'd like to ask, what was the difference between New York and London in the seminal 80s era?
A world apart, really. New York had individual clubs which were really doing a lot of great things, but it didn't have a scene as such. London had a music scene. Scene is where you get a group of people who might even not know each other, but doing similar things at the same time, but not knowing that. Yeah. And that's what we had in the UK, because my peer group of DJs, like I guess Jazzy B from Soul to Soul, Paul Trouble Anderson, Trevor Nelson, just to name a few, were running their own club nights, just like I was, playing similar sort of music that we all loved, but we didn't know each other, and we didn't know that we both loved the same types of music. So that was the difference, I guess.
Now, if you had to pick three of your favorite artists today, who would you pick?
Well, that could change. That could change hourly. I'm asked that question. That's why I don't have a favorite, because like everybody else in the modern age, I have an iPod, and every tune on my iPod, I think, oh damn, I love this tune. I mean, just before I came out in my hotel room, I was listening to the Detroit Spinners, which is fantastic. I was listening to some Public Enemy. I was listening to some Eric B. I was listening to some Lena Horne, Aretha Franklin, Jay-Z. Mixture of music, man.
So what's your favourite place to spin?
The Notting Hill Carnival, without a question, without a shadow of doubt. It may not be the biggest, but the symbolism attached to it. It's me and the king of my castle there. Yeah. Of all I survey, you know, I was in this thing from the beginning and watched it grow from a little acorn. Sure. And 30 years later, it's just the biggest thing that happens in England at that time of the year.
Now, what's your impressions of Bali after 3 visits?
I love it. I simply work by the adage, if I didn't like somewhere or my spirit doesn't take somewhere, I just don't come back. You know, I'm very fortunate. You know, I play all over the world. I could go anywhere, but I only tend to come back to the places, A, where I like, B, the people and the food and the vibe is right. I'll always keep coming. So Bali's definitely on that list.
Well, we hope you come back really soon. So thank you very much for spending a few minutes with us.
Great.
And we hope that you have a good journey back. Where are you going?
I'm en route now. Tomorrow I leave for Thailand and Bangkok and Koh Samui. Bit nervous about the political situation there. I've still got to make a decision as to whether I'm going to make my Thai dates. Then after that, a couple of dates in Shanghai. Then back to the UK for 2 days. Then I leave for Turkey for a big festival in Turkey next week.
Very busy schedule.
Yeah, mad schedule, but love it.
Well, thank you for spending this time with us, and we hope to see you again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hurry up and invite me back. And I'll be back with my partner Jane. She loved it when we were here last year.